Welcome to the 2022 INMM Awards ceremony. Once a year, we recognize the hard work and success achieved by nuclear materials management professionals. The INMM Awards Oversight Committee is chaired by Arden Dugan. It has two subcommittees chaired by Joseph Indusi and Joshua Rakowski. The committee members are Sunil Chirayath, Nancy Jo Nicholas, Igor Svetkov, Andreas Enquist, Joe Rivers, Anna Claudia Rafael Cayudo, Shirley Johnson, Michelle Smith, and Larry Satkoviak. We greatly appreciate the efforts of this committee in recommending these awards. I will hand over the presentation to the committee chair.
Thank you, Mark. I want to start with one of our newest awards, the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility, DEIA Award. Anna Rafael Cayudo will describe the award.
The Institute of Nuclear Materials Management deeply values the diversity of its members. The INMM is convinced that a variety of views, disciplines, nationalities, ethnicities, sexual orientation, parental status, experiences and age levels, and equitable gender representation enrich the INMM and improve the quality of its work. The INMM is determined to create an environment in which all members feel included, welcome, and supported in their involvement with the INMM and participation in its work. Events organized by the INMM, in full or in part, are to be designed and conducted in conformity with its policy of valuing diversity, inclusion, equality, and accessibility, which we kindly called DEIA, including for those with disabilities. To implement its DEIA values in its day-to-day work, the INMM has established the DEIA Committee, which was approved as a standing committee reporting to the Executive Committee in November of 2021. This has the responsibility for INMM's DEIA policy, practice, and initiatives. The INMM Award for Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility recognizes significant accomplishments of a team, organization, or individual in promoting, training, educating, and encouraging the equal opportunity, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility of practitioners in the field of nuclear materials management. This is the first time the award has been presented.
This awardee holds a Bachelor's of Arts in Russian, British, and American Studies from Moscow State University and a Master's in Russian Studies from Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania. The awardee is a longtime member of INMM and a member of the DEIA subcommittee. She is quite active in IAEA efforts to advance women in nuclear security, including championing previously underrepresented colleagues from Africa and South America, and she played a key role in establishing the Black Sea Women in Nuclear Security Network. She is active in NNSA's Nuclear Security Women Initiative, where she works to create opportunities, connect women and partner country organizations with other international or domestic technical experts, and develop and support a diverse range of educational, training, research, and other professional development opportunities. She has been a staff member at Los Alamos National Laboratory for nearly 25 years and is the program manager for global engagement and material security. She co-led Los Alamos National Laboratory's Atomic Women Resource Group for 8 years. This group created a community among Los Alamos's female staff, particularly those in STEM fields. She embodies the notion, we rise by lifting others, and is tireless in her energy and dedication to helping others succeed. Olga Martin is hereby recognized for her efforts over many years to promote women from all over the world in the field of nuclear materials management, and is awarded the first Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility Award. Congratulations, Olga.
I am very honored to receive this award, and I would like to thank the INMM Awards Committee, DEA Committee, and all those who took the time to nominate me and support my nomination. I would also like to thank my colleagues and friends at Los Alamos, within the INMM community and across the DOE complex, who truly believe that diversity and inclusion are not just a nice to have, but really essential for well-functioning teams and organizations. And it is those colleagues and friends who made my career in non-pro and nuclear security so interesting and so rewarding over the years. I think it was Maya Angelou who said that in diversity, there is beauty and there is strength. And it is very inspiring for me to see INMM's broadening focus on this area. Thanks again for this recognition.
The Education and Outreach Award is awarded in conjunction with the INMM Education and Training Committee. Melissa Einwechter is the chair of the Education and Outreach Committee and will describe the award.
The Education and Training Committee is focused within the nuclear materials management community on cross-cutting issues related to education, training, and knowledge management. The annual Education and Outreach Award acknowledges the cumulative contributions of an individual or organization for past and ongoing efforts related to education and outreach. We are pleased to announce that we have 2 winners this year. Back to you, Arden.
The first awardee received a BA at McGill University in Italian, with a minor in chemistry and a Master's of Science at the University of Tennessee in chemical physics, and received a diploma at Université de Montpellier, concentration of international law. She is an implementation technologies staff member at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. She began her career as a postmaster's research associate at Oak Ridge, and in 2011 became a research and development staff member. She participated in the Global Cylinder Monitoring and Identification System, coordinates Oak Ridge's additional protocol declaration, and is the POC to NNSA's Office of International Security Nuclear Safeguards Human Capital Development Portfolio. She has led 19 non-proliferation training courses at Oak Ridge since 2016 for over 400 students and graduate programs. She's a mentor to interns and early career staff, gives frequent lectures to students and adults in non-proliferation courses on safeguards, has published 7 articles on safeguards education and outreach. Her innovative approach is shown how she brought a comic strip author to explain safeguards and non-proliferation to non-scientists. She has also been very active in INMM as president of the Central Chapter from 2017 to 2021, welcoming a new student chapter, Purdue, and hosting 3 workshops with university partners. She is chair of the INMM Chapter Relations Committee and annual meeting poster session chair. Jessica White Horton is hereby recognized with the INMM Education and Outreach Award for her passion and commitment for furthering the next generation of safeguards professionals. Congratulations, Jessica.
Thank you. I am very honored to receive this award. I'd like to thank the INMM Awards Committee as well as the nominating committee, NNSA's NA 241 Office of International Nuclear Safeguards, and my major support at Oak Ridge National Laboratory that allows me to do my job, the members of the non-destructive measurement science and technology teams, and the safeguards, concepts, and implementation measures teams.
The second awardee holds a bachelor's in chemical engineering from the City College of New York and a master's in radiological protection from the University of Michigan. In his early career, he worked on the radiological health project at the Kansas Health Department. And later, he worked at the Atomic Energy Commission, which later became the NRC in Washington, D.C. There, he oversaw operations at the NRC's Incident Response Center following the accident in 3 Mile Island. and was an exercise director of several field exercises. In 1989, he started a second career at the IAEA, where he held several positions, notably developing the IAEA's emergency response system, and worked in physical protection of nuclear materials and facilities. As a private consultant, he continued to work with the IAEA, retiring in 2018. He is currently a senior advisor for the IAEA. He has developed, judged, and coordinated the Vienna Science Fair, which is sponsored by the INMM Vienna chapter. As a result of his efforts, thousands of students from many countries have been exposed to STEM and had firsthand access to scientists at the IAEA, CTBTO, and other Vienna-based UN organizations. Teacher and student exposure to the field of nuclear materials management was demonstrated. He is currently the organizer emeritus of the Vienna Science Fair and continues to support it with his passionate leadership. Bernard Weiss is hereby recognized with the INMM Education and Outreach Award for his passion for education and outreach, noted by his work in developing, judging, and coordinating the Vienna Science Fair for over 30 years. Congratulations, Bernie.
I am delighted to receive this award from the INMM and recognition it brings to the Vienna Science Fair, but it must be shared with a number of others, including those who started this Vienna Science Fair before I came to Vienna, and those who helped to do the work necessary to keep it going through all its ups and downs. This was a mixture of members of the Vienna chapter of the INMM and others at the IAEA, plus scientists and engineers working in Vienna. The Vienna Science Fair began because a few people wanted to give their children and others the opportunity to participate in a science fair as they did in the US when they were younger. They knew that there were teachers at the international schools who were there to encourage and assist students, and they also felt that there was always a core of students who want the opportunity to learn and to compete. I became involved with the Vienna Science Fair in the early 1990s to solicit, train, and manage the judges, and I've kept that job ever since. Now that I've retired from the IAEA and remain in Vienna, I have more free time to volunteer and increase my involvement in the science fair. We that are organizing the science fair are most proud of being able to open the Vienna Science Fair to students in international schools outside of Austria, in countries like the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Slovenia, Bulgaria, and Hungary. When the pandemic arrived, we were forced to cancel the 2020 Vienna Science Fair, but were determined to hold a science fair in 2021. We transitioned to a simulated Zoom science fair, and it went much better than we expected and showed that even in the face of this impediment, students, teachers, and organizers could successfully carry it out. Recently, we completed the 2022 Vienna Science Fair in the same manner. We are now beginning the planning for next year's Vienna Science Fair and look forward to teaming up with other institutions in Vienna, in addition to the INMM, to carry out and expand the community event, no matter what form it takes. Thank you.
This is for the Early Career Award. This award has been given to a member of the INMM since 2009, who is currently an active member in good standing. While a member of INMM, he has made a series of notable achievements, including novel technical contributions, innovative research, and leadership in the advancement of data science for nuclear nonproliferation and nuclear safeguards for carry-on. He also serves as the deputy leader for a technical focus area related to natural language processing techniques for nonproliferation in a large research project, which includes 5 national language names. From 2018 to 2022, he led the development of a new approach for quantitatively evaluating data-driven algorithms' ability in meeting nonproliferation policy objectives, called the decision framework. A former founding co-chair and current chair of the Institute of Nuclear Material Management's Data Science Group. This year's organizer and coordinator of ORNL's contributions to the AI and ML for IAEA Safeguards Workshop. Congratulations, Scott Stewart.
Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate you presenting this award to me today. First off, I'd love to thank the Institute, especially the awards committee, for considering my nomination. I'd also like to particularly highlight the role of my friends and colleagues at Oak Ridge National Laboratory in the Central Chapter and other folks across the National Laboratory Complex for helping put together my early career package, working alongside me and encouraging me. I also want to highlight my friends and my family. They continuously support me and are a big reason why I'm able to be successful professionally. Finally, I want to highlight the role of mentorship in my success. I wouldn't be here today without the many mentors that I've had along the way, from starting as an undergraduate researcher out at Los Alamos National Laboratory, to being able to work in a fellowship program up at the NNSA, to being at Oak Ridge National Laboratory today. Each mentor along my journey has been a critical part of my story. They've helped me sharpen my technical skills. They've provided encouragement and direction. As we're seeing a transition in our workforce today, I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage us all to think about mentorship and what we can do to reach out to the next generation and help equip them to also be successful so that they can continue carrying the torch for us in the non-proliferation regime throughout our community. Thank you very much.
This is the Charles Pittry Special Services Award. This award is presented to a longstanding member of INMM and the International Safeguards community. She's been a pillar of this community in her many different roles and positions, including her time at the IAEA and Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. Her activities include Technical Program Committee Chair for INMM from 2019 to 21, Fellow of INMM as of 2016, INMM Vienna Chapter President from 2015 to 16, currently their Secretary, Vice President, and Member at Large. She's the chair. She chaired at the Vienna International School SME Fair in 2018 and was assisting with the fundraising from 2011 to 17. She's the President, Vice President, and Member at Large of the Pacific Northwest Chapter of the INMM in the mid-2000s. Among her many contributions to the Institute, this awardee has been instrumental for 2 extremely successful INMM annual meetings held online. One of these in conjunction with the European Safeguards Research and Development Association, SARDA. She is recognized for her knowledge of IAEA safeguards, leveraging an extensive global network of safeguards practitioners and nearly 30 years of non-proliferation and safeguards experience. In particular, she provides advice and leadership that leverages 10 years at the IAEA Department of Safeguards by building safeguards capabilities through engagement with the global community. She conducts safeguards policy analysis and research, solves complex problems by connecting these policies, performs innovative approaches and technology endeavors, preserves institutional memory of the IAEA safeguards, and finally teaches, mentors, and coaches the next generation of international safeguards specialists. This award is presented to Carrie Matthews.
Yes, thank you, Joshua. It is really special and humbling to receive this particular award, being named in honor of Charles Pittry, who was INMM's TPC chair for decades. He was a fixture at our meetings, and I remember him really fondly since the first one I attended in 1995, always being friendly and quick with a joke and making everyone feel included. So it was truly an honor for me to step into those shoes as TPC chair, especially for the meetings that took place in the last 2 years during the pandemic. It was definitely challenging, but it was also very enjoyable and a fantastic learning experience. It was a real team effort, and it stretched me and the Institute in good ways. And I want to take this opportunity to encourage INMM going forward to use these tools that we've become familiar with now, the video meetings and the hybrid formats, the closed captioning and translation, to really broaden the Institute to serve the whole international community. Clearly, I can't wait to return to in-person meetings, but I hope we continue to do what we can to serve those who can't make it around the world. I also want to thank Susan Pepper, our president when I was TPC chair, who led the Institute with real grace and courage through a very challenging couple of years. And to everyone who supported this nomination, to the annual meeting committee and the TPC and all of the AH staff. It was great working with you all, and I look forward to seeing you at next year's meeting here in Vienna.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. My name is Lars van Dassen, and I'm the Executive Director of WINS, the World Institute for Nuclear Security. I have the honor to introduce the INMM Award in Nuclear Security and Nuclear Security Excellence. It's named after the founder of WINS, and that is Dr. Roger Housley. Some of you will know Roger Housley, and you will know and remember that he was a man who insisted on professionalism in nuclear security, insisted on nuclear security being a discipline of its own, having its own preponderance and importance, and therefore an issue that needs to be pursued and acted on with great care and professionalism. It is therefore an honor that there is such an award in his name and that I'm being allowed to introduce it to you. It was instituted last year, and this year we have the first recipient of this award.
This is for the Roger Housley Award. For the last 10 years, this honoree helped implement, organize, and strengthen nuclear security measures in each country, region, and the entire world. Starting his nuclear security career in the Argentine nuclear regulator as advisor to the board of directors, where he helped organize different security exercises and the training of security forces, improving coordination between relevant stakeholders, and strengthening nuclear security measures in Argentina. He served as Director of Nuclear Security and Non-Proliferation of Argentina, and was in charge of coordinating the implementation of nuclear security measures at a national level. During his term, he organized more than 45 training activities and trained more than 2,000 security personnel with technical backgrounds and law enforcement backgrounds. His skills, knowledge, and leadership were key to a successful event. He helped Argentina implement a nuclear security system during a major public event for the first time in its history. Also, a regional and world influence in nuclear security, he served as chair of the Response and Mitigation Working Group of the Global Initiative to Combat Nuclear Terrorism. Under his leadership, he helped organize numerous security exercises and improve the implementation of nuclear security measures worldwide. While serving as chair of the Working Group C of the IAEA Nuclear Security Center Network, he facilitated training of security personnel and bridged communities and stakeholders around the world. Further, he was the chair of 2 meetings of legal and technical experts in preparation for the 2021 Conference of the Parties to the Amendment to the Convention on Physical Protection of Nuclear Materials, helping better implement and review its advocacy. Presently, he's a project manager at the World Institute of Nuclear Security, also known as WINS. This Medal of Excellence is presented to Thomas Biden.
Thank you very much. I am greatly honored and delighted to receive this recognition. I would like to express my gratitude to the INMM for presenting me with the Roger Housley Medal for Excellence in Nuclear Security. I am humble and grateful for such a privilege. I do not want to miss this opportunity to thank the distinguished people that were and still are extremely relevant in my professional career and development. These people are Laura Holgate, Corey Hinderstein, Art Atkins, Julian Gadano, Facundo Delucci, Alison Johnston, Scott Schrum, Patricia O'Brien, Scott Rucker, Rob Floyd, and Rafael Grossi. Likewise, I would like to thank my good friend Alvaro Acevedo Zapata. I would also like to express my deep sense of gratitude to my wife, Rafaela Benitez, for her support, her energy, and for giving me the strength I need when taking on my obligations. Thank you, my love. Nuclear security is a daily task. It's not a 9-to-5 job. We don't get weekends off. Nuclear security represents a superior endeavor. The threat is real, and with no doubts, one of the lessons learned in the past few years is that the worst things can actually happen. Nuclear security is a global task, and we should tackle it together as an international community, engaging every stakeholder, since there are no faraway places or exceptive countries or regions. But at the same time, nuclear security is a professional career that requires vocation. It is a life purpose that connects you with a higher commitment and a sense of duty. That is, to procure a secure and a peaceful world. Thank you very much. Such an award inspires me to continue doing the best job I can do. Thank you again.
The Edway R. Johnson Meritorious Service Award is named for a former INMM president and technical division chair. It recognizes individuals who have provided long-term outstanding service to the Institute, as well as having made noteworthy contributions to the nuclear materials management profession. This awardee holds a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry with emphasis on analytical applications from Gonzaga University, and also carried out graduate studies at the Hanford Graduate Center for 4 years. She has held offices in local, national, and international professional societies, including the INMM, American Nuclear Society, and the American Chemical Society. She has been an active and supportive member of INMM local chapters, serving in executive positions in these, primarily in the Vienna and Pacific Northwest chapters. During her tenure in Vienna chapter, she played a major role in founding the Vienna International School Science and Engineering Fair. That is an annual event with participation from several schools. On the international level, she has continuously provided outstanding support to the INMM in the International Safeguards Division and the Technical Program Committee, and has presented many papers and chaired various sessions at INMM annual meetings. Among her various contributions to nuclear materials safeguards, she has been recognized by the IAEA and the entire safeguards community as an expert in nuclear reprocessing plant safeguards. Knowledge she gained in her assignments at the Hanford site and Idaho National Laboratory, as well as being the first IAEA female safeguards inspector working at reprocessing plants in the FRG and Japan. At the IAEA, she was also the head of the JNFL project, a 6-year effort that led to advanced safeguards and monitoring systems for the large Rakasho reprocessing plant in Japan. At her retirement from the IAEA, she was the section head of SGOB-1 that carried out inspections at nuclear facilities in India, Pakistan, Africa, Canada, and Switzerland. As a successful consultant, her activities, among several others, included work with Princeton University to develop safeguards approaches for reprocessing plants under a fissile material cutoff treaty. She also developed safeguards approaches for a coex nuclear fuel recycling process in Japan, and conducted reviews of development efforts conducted under a joint U.S. Republic of Korea pyroprocessing project. In addition to her many accomplishments, she has always made time to devote to training, mentoring, and inspiring young people entering the field of nuclear materials safeguards. At the present time, she has authored or co-authored over 70 papers on reprocessing safeguards, analytical chemistry, facility design verification, safeguards by design, process monitoring, and advanced reactor safeguards. Shirley Johnson is hereby recognized for her long-term and noteworthy contributions to nuclear materials measurements and safeguards verification in the areas of international safeguards, spent fuel reprocessing, and advanced reactors, and for her outstanding support for the INMM in all aspects of its activities, and is awarded the Edway R. Johnson Meritorious Service Award. Congratulations, Shirley.
I'm particularly honored by this award because it comes from my peers, those colleagues and friends from around the world with whom I have worked for so many years. We've done a lot together and have many achievements during my 25 years at the International Atomic Energy Agency and since then as a consultant. The Institute of Nuclear Material Management has been a large part of my career. I knew Ed Johnson through the Institute. We not only shared the same last name, but similar goals to use our knowledge and experience to strengthen nuclear material management and verification, and therefore contributing to nuclear nonproliferation. More importantly, to mentor those following in our tracks. Thank you so much for this recognition.
Congratulations to all of our winners this year. I am truly honored to know you. Thank you for attending this year's award ceremony. While we can't celebrate with them in person this year, I encourage you to reach out to them and offer congratulations for their achievements. The Awards Oversight Committee accepts nominations throughout the year. You don't have to wait until 2023 to nominate a colleague.
Hello, I'm Susan Pepper, President of the INMM, and today it's my privilege to make presentations to the new Fellows of the Institute. INMM Fellow is a distinction reserved for select INMM members whose extraordinary accomplishments in the field of nuclear materials management and whose contributions to the Institute of Nuclear Materials Management are deemed fitting of this prestigious grade elevation. The total number of fellows at the time of their advancement, excluding those who have resigned or become a fellow emeritus, shall never exceed 5% of the regular membership. The INMM Fellows as a body represent a wealth of both historical and current knowledge about and commitment to the Institute. This year, as president of the INMM, I am proud and privileged to present 3 new INMM Fellows. This year's first candidate for fellow is not only an active, long-standing leader professionally, but someone who has truly demonstrated dedication to the Institute by volunteering time and energy to make our Institute a better professional society. Trained as a materials scientist and engineer, Dr. Jeffrey Allender earned his PhD at Cornell University. He has worked on site, national, and international nuclear materials management programs for more than 40 years. Jeff started his career at DuPont in the Atomic Energy Division. In 1988, he joined Savannah River National Laboratory, where he currently serves as senior scientist. Jeff manages the surplus plutonium characterization and tracking program for NNSA and DOE-EM, and he is a major force in operations of the DOE-wide nuclear materials management team. He works with U.S. government agencies, the IAEA, and international partners on tracking and securing special nuclear materials. Jeff previously served as a core member of the Nuclear Materials Stewardship Initiative, DOE's response to the vulnerability assessments and Defense Nuclear Facility Safety Board recommendations, the Nuclear Materials Production Planning Support Group, and Defense Programs Transformation and Reconfiguration. In addition to being a recognized expert with over 40 years of experience in nuclear materials management, since joining the Institute in 2008, Dr. Allender has dedicated countless hours to supporting the INMM. Jeff is currently president of the INMM Southeast Regional Chapter, and he has developed and implemented several unique strategies for reinvigorating this chapter that have begun to show success. He has also held leadership roles within the Facility Operations Technical Division and was the INMM Writing Chair for ANSI Accredited Standards N15.10 and N15.1. He's an active member of the Technical Program, Strategic Planning, and Communication Committees and participates regularly in the MCNA NDA Users Group. For presentation at our annual meetings, he has authored or co-authored nearly 24 technical papers and serves regularly as a session chair. He regularly provides active assistance, including assignments as a photographer and judge for student papers. With outstanding qualifications for fellow, including scholarly contributions, seasoned leadership in the Southwest chapter, strategic and tactical involvement, and mentorship of student members, it's with great pleasure that I announce that in recognition of his distinguished contributions to the field of nuclear materials management, the Executive Committee of the Institute for Nuclear Materials Management has elected this 24th day of July to the rank of Fellow, Jeffrey Allender.
Yes, thank you. I also thank my associates for this honor and appreciate the efforts of the people who nominated me. 15 years ago, our community of nuclear materials managers at operating facilities chose to join with INMM to share our experiences in putting principles and policies into action. I learned that almost every specialty within the Institute was close to my passions, and I love the unique confluence of thinkers and doers. We share ideas across disciplines and partner government and non-government players. I started my career disposing of radioactive waste, then moved to reduced enrichment fuel, and finally to the permanent removal of weapons materials from worldwide stockpiles. I cherish the chance to mentor and pass the torch to the next generation of scientists and policymakers. Thank you so very much.
This year, we're privileged to have a second candidate for Fellow who is not only an active leader professionally, but someone who has truly demonstrated dedication to the Institute by volunteering time and energy to make our Institute a better professional society. Carrie Crawford is an experienced nuclear safeguards, security, and non-proliferation professional with nearly 30 years of broad multi-agency experience with significant international engagements. Carrie received a Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics from Southwestern Oklahoma State University and a Master of Science degree in Applied Mathematics from the University of Oklahoma. After graduating, Carrie started his professional career working for Mason and Hanger as a safeguard statistician at the Pantex plant. From there, he transitioned to do more material control and accounting development and training for Wackenhut. And in 2001, Carrie was hired by Pacific Northwest National Laboratory to work in their Systems Engineering Division on nuclear security and safeguards programs. And in 2016, Carrie joined the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, where he currently serves as the Nuclear Nonproliferation Division Director, responsible for programmatic and line management over ORNL's nuclear nonproliferation portfolio. Carrie has a long history of service to the INMM, not only leading our MCNA technical division, but then serving on the executive committee for nearly a decade as member at large, vice president, and president, and currently as our immediate past president. As immediate past president, Carrie is the official INMM representative to international organizations, including the World Institute for Nuclear Security, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the Brazilian-Argentine Agency for Accounting and Control of Nuclear Materials, the Stimson Center's International Nuclear Forum, and other strategic partners. Therefore, it is with great pleasure that I announce that in recognition of his many distinguished contributions to both the field of nuclear materials management and the Institute, the Executive Committee of the Institute of Nuclear Materials Management has elected this 24th day of July, 2022, to the rank of Fellow, Carrie Crawford.
So to the Institute, I would like to say thank you so much for this honor. I consider this to be a very high honor. I consider the Institute to be an integral part of my career. I have not treated it as a side professional institute that I attend, but it has been a core part of my career for going on 30 years now. I'm kind of proud to say I've attended every annual meeting since 1997. And my career trajectory and history is tightly tied to the INMM. So you are my crowd, and thank you so much for this honor. I consider it a true honor and privilege. And as I look at the makeup of the fellows of the Institute, this truly is a thought leadership internationally, and we have grown to be truly international. So I can't think of a higher honor, and couldn't be more proud of being associated with this group of people, the Institute as a whole and the fellows of the Institute. So I would just take a short second to say to those of you who are new to the Institute or early in your career, take full advantage of this. This is where you meet everybody in our industry, from U.S. national labs to NGOs to international research organizations, policy-making institutes. This is the hub, this is the center, and where your career can advance and you can learn and grow. So again, thank you so much. I'd like to say thank you also to Nancy Jo for leading the Fellows Committee. It's not a light lift to go through the nominations and vet and discuss, and to those who do awards and all of the volunteers of the Institute, but in this case particularly Nancy Jo and the Fellows Committee. So again, to not take too much of your time, thank you so much. It's a great honor, and I look forward to continuing to work with each and every one of you. Thank you.
This year's third candidate for fellow is Dr. James Schuler, the United States Department of Energy's Packaging Certification Manager, who's been working in the field of nuclear materials management for nearly 5 decades. Educated and trained as a health physicist, Jim is responsible ensuring the adequacy of DOE regulatory reviews for all Type B and fissile radioactive material package certifications. He directs a team of world-class experts at national laboratories across the DOE complex, including at Argonne, Los Alamos, Lawrence Livermore, Oak Ridge, Pacific Northwest, and Sandia, under the Packaging and Certification Program. With an unparalleled level of vigor, Dr. Schuler's contributions in nuclear materials management span multiple facets of the field. He is simultaneously internationally renowned for his technical expertise on radioactive material packaging, relied on for his management and leadership expertise, as evidenced by his authoring of several well-used textbooks on the subject, renowned as a key supporter and developer of new technologies, holding several key patents himself, and best known for his efforts and success in developing training to ensure a sustainable, well-educated workforce. In recognition of his many technical achievements and his outstanding leadership in packaging and transportation, Jim was recognized by the American Society for Public Administration, honored by Patram with the Aoki Award, and he received the INMM's Vincent J. DeVito Distinguished Service Award. With outstanding qualifications for fellow, including scholarly contributions, seasoned leadership in Patram, coordination of key waste management workshops, and mentorship of student members, it's with great pleasure that I announce that in recognition of his distinguished contributions to the field of nuclear materials management, the Executive Committee of the Institute for Nuclear Materials Management has elected this 24th day of July, 2022, to the rank of Fellow, James Schuler.
I want to thank the Institute of Nuclear Materials Management for this Fellows Award. I would also like to thank the individuals that nominated me and the awards committee. Thanks also go to my DOE contractors at the 9 national laboratories who provide me with world-class expertise. I've been fortunate to work with extraordinary people and do unbelievable things. My 47 years of work in the commercial nuclear industry, reactors, reprocessing, and low-level waste, the U.S. Department of Transportation is the first radioactive materials enforcement specialist, and the United States Department of Energy has been an exciting and spectacular journey. I have worked in all 50 states and numerous foreign countries from above the Arctic Circle to the tropical jungles to the deserts. Once again, I would like to thank the INMM for this recognition and this award. Thank you.